Hello, welcome to the Sound of Science, the place where we deconstruct unscientific bogus and silly scams. Let's go get them. Hello, my fellow critical thinkers. Today I discovered a Christian clown who practices such hilariously bad reasoning that I had to watch his video twice just to make sure that this is not some kind of parody trying to crap on Christian apologists. But no, this is real. This guy totally thinks that Lego proves the existence of his God. So let's grab some popcorn and watch this fool babbling his nonsense. And then, of course, let's annihilate his rubbish piece by piece. Let's go get them.
Lately, I've been sharing something that is really simple, but I think really effective in sharing your faith. So here is a witnessing tip that I like to share with people if they're not sure if God exists or not.
So, meet Bill Morgan. He's a Christian apologist, and all over the internet, he presents himself as a teacher in witnessing, which just means reproducing Christian nonsense stories, hoping that others will believe that crap and fall into the brainwash of Christianity. You see, Christianity is not evidence-based. There is no evidence that proves the existence of a God. So to remain relevant, Christianity has to rely on people who are prepared to brainwash others into their religion, preferably children and dumb people. They are the easiest to manipulate. So enter Bill Morgan. This is his idea of having a good time.
I'll say to them, suppose I had a pile of 1,000 Legos right here. Do you think if we gave nature 100 trillion years, it could turn that pile of Legos into a Lego castle or a Lego house?
Well, Bill, the problem for you is that for all we know, nature did build that Lego castle, because there is no evidence that proves the existence of your God. All we have evidence for is the existence of nature. So we have extremely good reason to believe that life is a natural phenomenon. Mankind is a species that got into existence by natural processes, and man is part of nature itself. So if a man built that Lego castle, then nature built that Lego castle. It's not that complicated. And nature didn't even need 100 trillion years to build that Lego castle. It only took nature a measly 13.8 billion years. And that is only 0.0138% of your time budget. And nature already accomplished your challenge. So this totally nullifies your challenge. You and your audience no longer need to doubt. If nature could build that Lego castle, nature already did. Every Lego castle in existence is caused by natural processes. It's really that easy. But wait. You are a Christian apologist, so you're going to try to cheat yourself out of this.
Do you think nature, which is wind, pressure, gravity, rain, do you think nature could build a pile of Legos into a castle? Or would nature just scatter them all over the place and make a mess? I know that open-minded people say it could never build a castle in 100 trillion years.
Just as I thought. Being a Christian apologist, you're trying to cheat yourself out of this. So now you're reducing nature to a very few forces, hoping to make it seem more likely that nature could not produce your Lego castle. And, which is even more hypocritical, you suggest that open-minded people will follow your example, while at the same time showing your obvious narrow-minded idea of reducing nature to wind, pressure, gravity and rain, just because that would fit the desired outcome of your narrative. Now, Bill, let's show some real open-mindedness by exploring the actual details of this, because you didn't. You didn't provide any calculation or evidence to support your idea that nature cannot build a Lego castle. Your reasoning only consists of your own incredulity. It seems so unlikely, therefore it must be impossible. So let's dig a bit deeper into this. 100 trillion years, you said. Now why would wind, pressure, gravity and rain not be capable of turning a pile of 1,000 Lego bricks into a Lego castle? Bill, do you have any idea how much 100 trillion years is? It's 100,000 times a billion years. That's a 1 with 14 zeros. How many piles of bricks would you say there are in your experiment? Because why stick to only one pile? There are 400 million people in the world playing with Lego. So let's assume that they all have one pile of Lego bricks. Just expose all of those 400 million piles of Lego to the limited set of forces of nature that you selected. Then, how many attempts would you grant Mother Nature each year to form a castle out of one specific pile of Lego bricks? One attempt every 10 seconds, would that be fair? That will be over 3 million attempts per year per pile of Lego bricks. So with your own time frame of 100 trillion years and with 400 million piles of Lego bricks granting nature 3 million attempts per year to turn a specific pile of Lego bricks into a Lego castle. Sorry for all these numbers, but you didn't provide the depth that we need to explore this. We would end up with 100 trillion times 400 million times 3 million, which is 120, followed by 27 zeros. Bill, that is a 120,000 times a million, times a million, times a million, times a million attempts. Bill, are you sure that nature wouldn't be able to produce something that at least looks a bit like a Lego castle, even if only wind, pressure, gravity and rain are working on those bricks? How can you exclude that as a realistic outcome? After 120,000 times a million, times a million, times a million, times a million attempts, based upon what evidence and what calculations would you say that that is impossible? Hey Bill, how about an infinite number of years? What if we grant nature an infinite number of years to produce a Lego castle? Then what reason would we have to assume that that Lego castle would not show up eventually? A Lego castle is only one of the many possible arrangements of 1,000 Lego bricks. If nature can make an infinite number of attempts, then what reason would there be to suggest that this Lego castle will not come around eventually? Bill, I think it's important that you should not convey the message that something is impossible just because you can't imagine something being possible while you didn't do any research in order to support your ideas. That way of conveying a message really dumps down your audience. This kind of a total lack of critical thinking is damaging for the intellect of people. Do you got anything else?
Well, if nature can't build a Lego castle,
which you have not proven in any way, all you did was saying, I cannot imagine that such a thing could happen, so it must be impossible. Bill, how can you, as a supposed teacher, as an engineer with 37 years of working experience, how can someone like you think that you're making some kind of argument here? I think it's the Christian brainwash again. It makes you believe silly stuff, and it erases all your capabilities of critical thinking.
well, if nature can't build a Lego castle, how could nature build a human body with eyes, lungs, ribs, livers, kidneys, DNA? Follow me? I think it's a simple point, an effective point, and I hope you use it and consider it, that to build a Lego castle, you need intelligence. To build a human being, you need intelligence that we can't even describe and all glory to God for that.
Oh no, sweet mother of Gandalf. If nature can't build a Lego castle, then how can it build a human being? You cannot make this up. This guy actually thinks that Lego proves the existence of his God. How does Christianity keep attracting these pickled onions for brains? At this point, it seems that being brain dead is the number one requirement for starting a career as a Christian apologist. If nature cannot build a Lego castle, then how can nature build a human being? Because a Lego castle is not a human being, you unimaginable Jesus clown. A human being is an organism. It consists of self-replicating and self-connecting organic molecules that slowly evolve over time because of random mutations. An organism can and does build itself. That is how organic chemistry works. We don't need a sky wizard for that. It's just a natural process that operates according to very well understood and proven physical and chemical principles. Now, Lego bricks are not self-replicating and they do not evolve over time, just like rocks and shards of glass. So, therefore, we do not see Lego bricks, rocks and shards of glass reproducing and evolving by themselves. How can this even be a question for a guy who has been a Navy engineer for 37 years? That you ask the same question about the submarines that you were working on? Hey, how come submarines don't breed little baby submarines? But listen to this, Bill. What if that pile of Lego did consist of self-replicating and self-connecting Lego bricks that would experience mutations over time? How about that? Some of those bricks and some of those connections would have an enhanced chance of survival because their shape and form would be resistant to the natural forces in their environment. At some point in time, robust Lego structures would emerge with thick shells on the outside. Other structures that would not be strong and not have protective outside layers would perhaps not even come into existence, because the chance of them being destroyed right away would be significant. Perhaps those structures that would end up on hilltops would have the best chances of not being washed away by floods. So, if Lego would consist of self-replicating, self-connecting bricks that would evolve over time, at some point in time, robust Lego structures on hilltops would become dominant. So if Lego bricks would have the same properties as organic molecules, perhaps nature would produce entire populations of Lego castles all the time, just like nature produces and evolves populations of organisms all the time. Bill, you're a piece of work, man. You think that Lego proves the existence of your God, and you wonder how it's possible that Lego castles don't breed little Lego cottages. Sweet uncle of Frodo, the people I have to deal with. If you're still here, then thank you for watching. You're a brave soul if you can endure all these Christian Delulu clowns. I can't take it anymore, and will settle down with a nice cup of English tea. See you soon.